one guy I want to talk about coming from the combine, fascinating. He's so talented. His tape frequently jumps off the screen, and other times it doesn't. But most of the time it jumps off the screen. And he ran a terrific 40, sub 4.6 for defensive lineman. And there are some mock drafts that had him first overall, Kayvon Thibodeaux of Oregon. And he was out here on Super Bowl week and making some rounds and making some headlines talking about how he wants to make sure he plays in a state with no income tax and, with a ton of personality.
Yeah,
right?
I saw some of his interviews. Great.
Right? Talking about his brand and things of that nature. And you know what? When you do that, you get some scouts hearing that, and they're like, okay, I got to see what's under the hood here. Mm-hmm. Fair or not, that's what happens. That is exactly what happens. Certainly if, from what you see on tape, jumps off the screen at you, and then there are other times where he is, as some scouts said over the weekend, taking some plays off. So the conversation all week long when he was at a podium or in front of a microphone was him battling the perception that he doesn't care as much. Do you love football? That's what you hear from so many scouts.
Yeah.
Are you into it? Or are you into yourself? Are you more of a team guy or you're more of a you guy? And it's maybe terribly unfortunate, unfair, what have you. But whispers start because either teams want you to fall to them or whispers start because they're true. And that's the type of season it is. And if you're caught in that vortex, like Desmond Ritter's coming up, there's nobody who has these conversations about him from Cincinnati. Question is he good enough to be your starting quarterback in the NFL? Like it's that conversation. Mm-hmm. Not does he want to, can he be a leader and things of that nature? Can we spend a top 10 pick on him? He's not a top 10 pick, but he could be somebody like Dak one day. Like you're hearing those comparisons right now. And I'm sure Desmond Ridder would love to be in the position that Dak Prescott is in like right now, which is renegotiating his contract to give more cap space to his team and putting more money in his bank down the road to add to his generationally wealthy contract. But with Kayvon Thibodeaux, the question was coming into the week, what are you going to put out there for all the scouts to see? What is your message going to be? And he said when he got to the microphone that he was definitely upset to hear that his want to is being questioned, and he'll show everybody he's going to work out and do everything. That's what he said. Mm-hmm. Runs a 40, blazing 40, looks terrific doing it. And then Willie McGinnis is out there on the field for us covering the defensive line and linebacker drills. And as he's on camera, I see over his shoulder as he's talking about Thibodeaux, I can't wait to see what he's going to do out here. Thibodeaux's putting on his warm-up jacket and then slinging his knapsack over his shoulder, which is a sign I've seen many, many times. That means I'm done for the day.
Wrap.
Now, some players didn't even work out at all. Nakobe Dean didn't do a thing. Mm-hmm. But this isn't a question about him. And Thibodeaux had all these questions about him, and when he didn't work out, it only adds more questions to the equation. And then Stacey Dales, who had a terrific week with us on the field, she went up to him, and Willie McGinnis went up to Thibodeaux because apparently he's known Thibodeaux for quite some time. And he told them both that it was a long day and that he wants to do all the defensive drills and the linebacker drills all at once, not, separated by a half an hour or what have you. And he'll do that all at his pro day. And it made no sense because it was just as long of a day as everybody else in his group and for everyone else in his group. And they all did their drills and got done with it. And if the question about you is, do you want to? Can you show out and show up? Is your motor in question? Is your desire in question? Will you take plays off or not? And he took the drills off. I'm just shaking my head. I'm like, I don't understand it. And I'm sure there are some scouts who will as well. And if they pass up on him because of it, maybe they will rue that day. Because I've seen guys not work out. I've seen guys not do drills, and it doesn't matter. They're terrific in the pros. And that may be the case for Kayvon Thibodeaux. And did he hurt himself? There's a difference between hurting yourself and not helping yourself. Okay. I've been around the combine block a lot. He did not help himself. Now, the Oregon Pro Day shows up and he does everything.
Yeah, then.
Or he doesn't do everything and he just shows up and he does a couple drills and looks terrific doing it. Will it matter? But I'm just wondering if it's between Trayvon Walker and him on the clock, who are you taking? Between Aiden Hutchinson and him on the clock, who are you taking? And some teams might be, I'll take the guys who showed up at the combine and balled out and whose tape doesn't have those questions about him. I saw that and I thought to myself, man, I'd work out if I was him. But again, he's so supremely talented. You could see how he plays when he's on. That kid is on.
Now, Rich, do you suspect that that's an agent giving him this advice?
I have no earthly idea. But the response that came from him to Willie McGinnis and Stacey Dales made no sense. Like, I want to do it at a time where I guess he's not up at 5 a.m. It's a long day. I mean, he's not wrong. These guys are getting their hands measured and this measured, that measured, this tested, that tested, this thing, that thing, and interviews here, interviews there. It's a long week and it's a long day when you're working out. And at the end of it, it's particularly, difficult to shine out and show up like you're supposed to. And he said it's a long day, but it was a long day for everyone else in his group. Everyone else. So these are questions that are going to come up over the next few weeks. He can absolutely answer them. He can absolutely forget them. And what I'm saying right now, one team might be like, good. I'm glad he didn't work out.
Let him drop to us.
I'll take him at 10. Yeah. I'll take him at 12. Exactly. I'll take him at 15.
Exactly.
Or I'll take him at 8. I'll take him at 6 because he's top 5 talent. So that's why I'm saying he didn't hurt himself, but I don't think he helped himself. Based on everything that I'm hearing and what I saw. And it's a difficult thing because, again, he's essentially in the world of he's a growing, budding star potentially in this league, but he's still a kid. Certainly as a 52-year-old man, and that's the whole thing is I learned this from Mayock too, and that's what's so great about Daniel Jeremiah also. Don't kill the kid. Don't kill. I mean, that there's still decisions to be made here, but the one that he made by not working out after he told everybody, I'm going to do everything. And then he didn't. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.